Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode, episode number 57. We are into the national road races, so national championship road races. First up is Gino Mater and his 70 overall on this punchy one. He's balanced with mountains and hills, so he could get over the continuous climbs and still be there at the end. He's got a little bit of acceleration, but as for what he could do with that, well, you can see he's not even in the top 10 favorites, but we'll actually give this one a chance. We'll join late into the stage and see if he's still around and see if he can't maybe at least crack the top 10. 41 kilometers to go, 3 times more through the lap, but then part way up, the 4th time is where the finish line will be. So here's the base. Once you go over that bridge, you go uphill. It winds back and forth a lot, so it's very technical in that sense, meaning it could be really hard to make a move here, there, or anywhere. Breakaway still has 2 minutes. I would imagine it could come down pretty quick, and you can see we are Stefan Kuhn burying himself right now to pull those guys back. He's already pulled back 20 seconds on them, so let's see if he can keep that up. But that's still a pretty sizable gap with a small peloton, just 29 riders left at this point. There was only 46, 47 who took to the stage today, so a pretty small field to begin with. And I had a small feeling that the breakaway could hang on today, but as it's down to a minute 40, we'll see what we can do in pulling those guys back. Peloton's looking like it could be on the verge of shrinking. A few guys on the back were kind of yo-yoing off the back a moment ago, so we might be down to a smaller group. Mater's in pretty good shape right now, and here you go. You can see where the final climb would be, and there it is. That's the finish line right there. And here comes an acceleration by Reichenbach, Frank, Thalmann, Franchini. Those are contenders trying to leave the field behind and go catch the 3 riders at the front who, well, they've got a bit of a gap. And this right away becomes a front group. Can I keep pace with these guys? Come on, Mater. Come on, Mater. Make contact. You have it, but you don't have it. Peloton's 20 seconds behind. There you go. I'm in contact again. Now, this is a group that they are stronger than I am, so I just want to sit on with this group. And they accelerate again. They're trying to leave me behind. Boy, those guys are riding strong. I mean, I'm riding at a 99, and they rode away from me. See if we can make contact again. It's a half minute behind us. This is definitely the winner's group unless the win comes from the breakaway. 41 seconds behind us, a minute ahead of us.
15 kilometers to the finish line.
Just now starting to see some cooperation in the group here. A minute 10 behind, 45 seconds behind us. Only 2 more times through the lap, and at the moment, none of us are riding hard, so I'm recovering, which is nice, but at the same time, are we going to catch those riders at the front? It's now a 1 minute gap, but with just a lap to go, I'm not so sure that we're going to catch those guys, but am I looking at least at a top 8? I like that idea. Sitting on with the group also helps. 12.5 kilometers to go. Here they go again. They go for the sprint. There's the breakaway. 6 riders at the front now. And I do regain contact with the group. No, 4 riders at the front. I'm not going to catch them. So I'm now in the next group of 3 on the road as we go over the top. 4 riders at the front are Thalmann, Reichenbach, Franchini, and Frank. The 3 of us, we only have 13 seconds over the riders behind us. That's not good. That is not good. Can I stay ahead of them for a potential top 5? Now we have a group of 9. Wait, come on, they're just riding on by, and I'm just not staying with them. I hate how it does that sometimes. Your maintained position just does not go with a simple acceleration. And off they go. 38 seconds to the front riders. 5.5K to go. Let's use the gel. We're going to need to be near the front here. I don't have a ton of energy. But we're going to have to move up as soon as we get down. There's the bridge. We're going to start going up the other side. Accelerate to the front. 3.5K to go. Oh, there's the bridge where we go up. Okay. 2.5K to go. And let's see if we can get a little separation. No, none. No separation there. So we stay in position for now. This is so technical that it's really hard to do. 800 meters. Sprint. Come on, Mater. He's not going to have much left, but round this corner. Fullman takes the win. Franchini. I knew that group, Reichenbach, Frank. The others end up going for the front, but I will be in top 10. Mater fades here at the end. Leonhard, Mater takes 8th. So I was not in the favorites list at all, but we do manage a top 10 finish. We nearly hang in with that group, but those guys were just too strong. Gino Mater, again and again, was dropped by the group 4, 5, 6 times, even when he had energy, even when he was riding at a 99. Their pace, roughly a 99 possibly, was too much for his 99, as he's only a 64 on the flat. And that was one area where we were definitely losing the wheel of the guys in front of us. This race we go for its entirety. I have a full team coming to the USA Championships, along with our doctor, McNulty, Barta, Owen, all among the favorites. I have quite a few guys in that top 10 favorites. Kevin Vermark is the favorite overall, though. We may have work to do to deal with a breakaway in this one, and so we're going to ride for the entirety to see what we can do. I also have a lot of riders who are in form today. 51 in the field, and I've got 8. So we'll bring our team to the front so we can set up, so we can establish control over the peloton. We're not going to let a breakaway get terribly far today, so I am willing to sacrifice a couple of riders in that chase if necessary. It's nice to have enough riders in the race, with other teams not really having enough riders in the race to do something. So Mather, James Mather, has one of the jerseys last episode. He claimed the time trial for the USA National Championships. He's not going to be the winner today, though. Daniel's already there at the front, pulling. All right, here comes the first attack. And you got Finney, Wolf, and Vermeulen. If it's just those 3, I'm completely fine with that. Meanwhile, let's set up. McNulty's definitely a favorite. Strongest climber. Owen's definitely a favorite as strongest punchy guy, along with Barta. Not going to be a sprinter today. We have Garfield, who's balanced. We have, really, it's just those 3, isn't it? Sean Bennett, he's okay. Let's maybe take you off here, and we'll take these 2 to protect those 2. That's the 4 we ride for.
The pace has slowed somewhat. It's perhaps due to fatigue, but I'd bet on some sort of tactical choice.
Yes. We let those 3 go away. Let them get a couple minutes. Then Sean Bennett will ride alone, or Bennett will protect Barta, and then we'll take 2 of these guys. Maybe Daniel with that +4 race day condition, he could last quite a while on the front of the field. It's already a minute and a half. Coming up on that 2-minute gap. Let me see if another team comes to the front. Right now they do not, and there we go. Now a team comes to the front. Control the pace. see if it holds. We're at just over 3 minutes. I'm okay with 3 minutes. Later on, we can go to the front to pull it back. Save energy for now. Yeah, it's holding at about 3 1/4, 3.5 minutes. Oh, just like that, it's down to 2.5. So, a little odd there. The way that time moved. Okay, those guys back off a little bit. But it looks like they'll go from 3.5, bring it back to 2.5, and then reset. And that's okay for a while. As the rain begins to fall here in the Carolinas, let's speed things along for a little while. Just make sure that that time does not explode. Every time it hits 3.5, we pull it right back to 2.5 very quickly. And that's a good manageable gap. So for now, we just ride. It's out over 3.5 this time, so we've got to keep an eye on it. But they are working, and see, just like that, it jumps back to 2.5. Not sure what's going on there.
A rider has just suffered a puncture.
Send Mather to get water for the first time. I'm going to need 2 more times after this. Again, this is a very long road race. It's a lot of laps that we are going to be completing in this one. As the rain stops, that's going to help. The gap is 4.5 minutes now, though. So it has gone up a little bit. But we've got a team working at the front. Let them do their thing, but I'm more inclined to take over sooner rather than later with a gap like that. Back under 4 minutes. Back over 4. And the rain is back on. Going to take the aerial view for a while. It's already a little bigger than I wanted the gap to be, but I'm really trying to save my team towards the end. But I'm definitely not willing to allow another increase to that lead. So if this team pulls off the front and the lead suddenly goes up again, then I will be forced. I would definitely go to the front and start pulling them back. Okay, gap's under 3 minutes now, so it's going the right direction. Gap yo-yos a lot. Oh, 16 riders off the back. I didn't see anything about a fall, so this could be fatigue related. This is a long race with a lot of climbing, and if you're not good on climbing, especially if you're in the 50s, I could see you getting dropped well before. There's a pretty significant gap to some of the weaker riders in this field. Gap's down to 2.5 minutes now. Far from the end.
Watch out. There are a few riders in trouble at the back.
I might want to bring this back down. It sounds like somebody's trying to attack off the front of the peloton. And 16 riders are split. But with a gap of 2:15, and those riders on the back not concerning me. Gap's going the right direction. We've got 5 climbs to go, 5 laps to go. So this gap definitely needs to start coming back the right way. So I might commit guys to this after this lap, just to make sure. But 2 minutes is not hard to pull back from 3 riders who have been away for a very long time. Alright, Mather, go ahead and drop back, get water. Last time for that, and then we'll focus on the chase and the race to the finish. Okay, minute 55. These guys aren't pulling it back very well. I think it's time. Maybe they're a little tired from going to get the water. We'll start with Garfield. Garfield, you were protecting Bennett. Okay, perfect. You're going to go to the front and relay. Where does a 90 put you? Definitely riding ahead of some of their guys. And now you take the front. Okay, so Garfield's going to work the front from here. This should pull the time back. We'll see how the time gap is looking. Oh yeah, he's pulling time back. He's already pulled back 10-15 seconds. So we'll use up Garfield first and preserve the rest of the team. I really don't need anyone else to jump in there for the time being, but it's down to a minute 10 just like that, so he's nearly done it already. He's pulled back half a minute, and the front three are now attacking each other. Garfield is giving a turn to others, but you can see the peloton is getting a little bit smaller. So those guys are stepping up their chase efforts. This is also putting control into the peloton a bit. Make sure my guys aren't getting dropped here. Guys are a little far back for my liking. 33 kilometers to go. Garfield's going to be time to push a little bit harder. Actually, let's just do everyone. That'll be the easier way to do it. Set a 93. It's going to put Garfield back on the front. That gets my team right here where they belong. We're going to go catch those guys with a couple laps to go. And then we might go sprint train style to the end on this one, as we are definitely one of the favorites in terms of team power, strength, number of riders. This Hagens-Berman's team, not much of a threat, and they're feeling pretty confident that they are committing a whole lot of guys to this chase. You can see that this time Garfield really putting a hurting into the field. Just one rider left off the front. Garfield out of red bar, but he does have the yellow. It's 25k to go. It's going to allow my guys to recover a little bit, but he's not going to last much longer, so I'm going to need to get somebody else up there. Thinking about doing the whole team, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Garfield, go ahead and use your gel. You're gonna run. It's going to run out before he gets a chance. Mather is protecting Barta. Let's start moving you to the front. Bennett, go ahead and take over on the protection of Barta. Garfield, meanwhile, is getting us down this descent. Mather is already actually overtaking him positionally. So we've got two guys to work the front now. Breakaway is done, and the peloton has shrunk a lot, down to 26 riders. So those last couple times, especially that last one, Garfield really putting a hurting in on a lot of riders. It's going to be Mather this time. Let's use his gel now before he goes up there. And here comes Roscoff and Paulus trying to form a new break, trying to get the win that way. That's just not going to be the way to do it. 15 kilometers to go. After this time, we go sprint train. There we go. Mather nullifies the attack, but he's out of energy. I want to wait till we get to the top, though, to do something. So, okay, Brian also done. Garfield, he's about to drop out the back, so we'll set him to auto. Brian, Mather. All right, here's our 5 riders with 13k to go. Let's select all 5 of them. Set 99s. Now, the strongest is Barta with a 79 hills rating. Owen has a 77, but McNulty has the best mountain climbing ability, and it's hard to tell which one's going to matter more. So do we put McNulty on the back and hope the other guys can pull him up? I think that might be the way to go, and then he can finish it off, though he is not a sprinter, is he? So never mind doing that. Let's go Barta chasing Owen, chasing McNulty. And then Bennett, yes. And then Daniel. And Daniel's going to lead us through. Daniel's still here because of his +4 race day condition. We don't want a 99, but we're going to push a 92 right away. This is going to really establish some control over this field. Here comes an attack by Roscoff. We're going to nullify that. In fact, he couldn't even get to the front. There you go. So there's one reason to do this. We'll use his gel as soon as we are near the bottom. He'll use up some energy on the flat, but it'll get him to the... Actually, I don't even need him to get to the climb. I'll use his gel now. 10K to go. We're going to use Bennett's here in just a little bit. I'm going to up the pace to a 94. Peloton's down to 22 riders. We are in control of 5 riders at the front. Can we claim the jersey? We've got the time trial. Can we take the road race jersey as well? Barta's the one we're going to try to give it to. Here comes an attack again from Roscoff, but he's wasting way too much energy every time he accelerates like that. And you can see he does not make it clear. 5.5K to go. Gel. We're going to wait a little bit longer for Barta's. Now Barta. Okay, now 99, all the way to the finish. Okay, Bennett, round the corner. It's your turn. $3K to go. Bennett getting us through this low section. 2K to go, and he's going to sprint. And McNulty. McNulty, your turn. Okay, he's done. 1K to go. Owen. We've got a front group of 9, and I have 4 of them right at the front. There's Owen heading for the finish. Barta, 500 meters. Could take it. Owen might take it. I think we've got a 1-2 coming. Can McNulty hang on for third? We'll find out. There is Barta over Owen. Plan executed perfectly. Barta is your champion. Owen takes second. Mark takes third, Carpenter fourth, Bennett fifth, McNulty hangs on for sixth, so we get 5. We get 1, 2, 5, 6. And then there comes the rest of the field. Paulus, Dombrowski, King, and Joyce are the top 10. Craddock misses out. Koos misses out. Boswell. Roscoff only 15th. His attempt to force breakaways not happening. Van Garderen only 16th. Nathan Brown just 17th. He's won the jersey before. Just a few years ago in real life. Gregory Daniel, after his work, takes 20th. Mather, 25th. Brian, the only one who never did much, but he did provide protection for his rider. And we do get the national championship jersey for the U.S. to our team. That's nice. I like that. I do like that we also managed to go 1-2. Logan Owen could have had it. William Barta gets it. It deserves it. He's the best punchy rider, and this was a punchy race. McNulty, if anybody, GC-wise, should deserve it, but he's not that great of a punchy rider. He managed to hang on for 6th after an early lead out. That's a good result. You saw Sean Bennett, who went before him, still got to the line before McNulty to finish 5th. So McNulty just not that strong of a punchy rider. So he didn't last long. And it was his turn to go. And you can see he was overtaken by his own teammate, who burnt his energy up even sooner. Still had a little bit of energy left for our top 2 guys as well, and that's one of the reasons why we were able to get multiple riders to the finish line in a strong position. See, 31-second gap starting behind us, and then big gap after Van Garderen. And then we just destroyed the field from there. Team classification, we've got to be first on that one. We are. And that's our second jersey of the national championships period. 1 time trial, 1 One road race jersey now. I think we had some previous ones, didn't we have? I gotta look back. I think we started some championships 2 episodes ago, didn't we? Because we had to have had Canada by now. Oh, no, we don't. Okay, I know I'm confused by that. My 18 series. We have the new Nabob sponsor, Canadian. So I picked up some Canadian riders. It turns out they didn't care if I have Canadian riders or not. But we did win the Canadian time trial jersey. But that's my PCM 18 series. See, they always blend together. Campione d'Italia, 269 kilometers. Holy cow. Felci for this one. So, Championships of Italy. And he's all alone here. Definite climbing to do. Magazine, Muscon the favorite. We are not in the top 10. We'll join in the later climbs. Felci put in a decent race for us. Time trial wise. Let's see what he can do now in the road race. No, actually it wasn't really a decent time for the time trial, was it? We missed out on the early kilometers. This time though, more straightforward, but he's riding solo. 77 kilometers to go here in Italy. Felci, his chances are very, very limited today for one main reason. He's got nobody to protect him through the first half of the race. So he's having to do all of his climbing solo, and even though he's a decent climber, I just don't think he's going to last terribly long. He gets over that climb, but the pace is definitely there. Peloton already down to less than 40 riders. The breakaway that had a 5-minute gap just a little bit ago has just 5 riders left and are down to just a half minute. Couple of the favorites just crashed and could be out of this race. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get back on at this point, even though there are still 53 kilometers to go. There's a little secondary hill right now that we're on, 10%, going from road to road. It's pretty steep, but outside of that, it's one climb. This town we're heading into right now, though, is where the finish is. So that banner is right before the finish, and right behind that building is the finish line. So we just went under the finish line, but we have 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. And like I said, Felci, I'm not convinced that he is safe, that he's going to be there. Right now, he's looking at a top 40 finish. I know we can improve that. Breakaway is caught. Peloton down to 24 riders now. As we get over the top that time, now we're looking at a top 20 finish. Well, top 21 anyway. Secondary climb coming. I do need to get water one last time here for Felci, and I'll do it just before the top of this climb. There you go, go ahead. So ease up, uses a little less energy there. Things stretch out a little bit here. Felci, don't get dropped. 19 riders left in the peloton. Finally, he gets the water. 35k to go. Work your way back to the front here on this descent. You're already good energy-wise, but you're definitely not great. Your stamina's getting a bit low. So this was a long one, 270 or something like that. So stamina factor. Stamina's not good. Resistance. And it's just kind of, I don't know. But we're looking at least a decent position. I mean, we're into the top 20 as we now head up the penultimate time. Let's go ahead and bring it on down for this. Plenty of guys working at the front. I just saw Muscon wearing the number 1 jersey there in the Ineos, and we're seeing an attack by Di Marchi, Pozzovivo, Bettiol. Come on, Felci. Come on, Felci. Get a little acceleration here. We don't want to get dropped by these guys and let the top 6 get away or something like that. We want to make sure we stay in the group as we go over the top. 11 chasing 3 now. Go ahead and sit up. We are where we are. If we don't catch those 3, we don't catch those 3. I'm okay riding for 4th. I'm already happy that we're riding for the top 14. I was not convinced a top 10 is in the cards for us today. We're getting a little closer to that now. 13 in the group as it comes back together a little bit. 3 on the front, though. Those 3, by the way, it's windy. Our favorites, Mosca and Bettiol DeMarquis. We may not catch them, and nobody at the front at the moment, but there you go. Elia Viviani giving chase. 8 to the front. How did that happen? It's that secondary climb. This is going to decide the race, by the way, later on. 1 rider off the front, 14 giving chase, and it just split again. 7 in between. That's 8 riders ahead and 4 of us giving chase. Yeah, not a fan of how that one just turned out. But this is exactly what I was talking about. I had burned up a lot of energy ahead of this, and I really don't have much left to do anything. So it looks like we are now riding for 9th place with Viviani, Conti, and Finetti. Now Misnada, and oh, that's 3 riders coming back. I would try to bridge that gap, but we really do not have the energy to do so. So, 7 riders riding for 9th place. Viviani might be a great sprinter, but I don't think he'll make it over the top this time. Conti, though, Misnada, those guys are strong. Vendram, maybe. Can I beat the others? Possibly. We'll see. 14K to go. Onto the climb. Not time to attack yet, but keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. It's still a long climb. We are far from the top. We're getting into the steeper section now. 6.5% now. Eases off as you round the corner. Okay, the next section would be where to go. This is somebody being lapped. These 2 guys are being... No, they're not being lapped. No, they are. Those are riders being lapped. Okay, here's the section. Here's where I want to go. Felci, attack. Leave this group behind. Let's see if we can claim 9th place. As long as he has the red bar, we will keep attacking. We're going to go over the top before it runs out, so I'll take that. We make it up to this group. That might be a good thing. Pozzovivo. Wow, it's Pozzovivo. And Caruso. Damiano Caruso and Pozzovivo. They are looking pretty weak, but we're going to go over the top, save some energy for that last section to try to attack again. There are now 6 riders off the front, so we're fighting for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and we got a full minute clear of the group we were riding with. Go ahead and use my gel so it's ready for that climb, not for the race to the finish. That climb is going to be the decisive moment. And I'm recovering a good amount here. We have a 2-minute gap behind us, but it's a 1.5 minutes ahead of us, meaning really I'm probably just racing these 2. I think we can open a significant gap on that uphill section the way they were struggling to climb there at the end. Here it is. Here it is. And we're going to sprint. Can we open a gap? I think we're going to be down to 2. We are down to 2. Oh, down to 1? No, 3.5K to go. There we go. It's Pozzovivo and I riding for 7th and 8th. He's trying to ride away. And Caruso's coming back. 2.5K to go. Stay in the groups. Don't attack yet. Don't attack. 2K to go. Bettiol takes the win. DeMarquis second. 1.4K. Start to accelerate. To accelerate under 1K. And sprint now. Sprint now. There you go, Felci. There you go, Felci. 7th. I'll take it. Bettiol, DeMarquis, Formolo, Moscon, only 4th. Conchi, 5th. Ballerini, Felci takes 7th. Caruso, Pozzovivo, and Viviani are your top 10. Viviani, not known for his climbing. He's got some heart, and he sticks around to take a top 10 position. The guys that I was with finished minutes behind me, so I did leave most of them behind by being patient. Those front runners, though, too strong. Just too strong. the fact that we even got 7th, I think, is a good result. Finally get to the top 20 all crossing the line. That took a long time to get those other guys. Misnada had dropped back a lot. Brambilla came from behind. Chelano Fellini, who crashed, came from behind, only managed his 17th. Ulysses Ciccone Cataldo wrap up the top 20. When you start naming those guys off, pretty much all World Tour riders outside of a couple in that top 20 feel a little bit better about the result.
Now for the best moments of the day.
There is the sprint finish. Looks like we had a group of 7 at the end. No, 6. Group of 6 at the end that had already left 3 guys behind that weren't in contact anyway. That was... Oh, that's me. Right? No, maybe not. Yes, I took 7th, right? Unless that was riders being lapped. I think that might have been riders being lapped because there was a pretty hefty gap. There was. So 4 riders, they left Conchi behind by a minute and a half. So actually that was a lapped rider too. Ballerini and Felci leads out Caruso and Pozzovivo. So we do win our small group and claim a solid top 10 position. Could definitely be happy about that result. We almost caught up to Ballerini. And these are the riders I left behind. I mean, they finished quite a ways back, so we definitely went at the right time. What is next? Well, we've got Belgium, Ooms Philipsen, and Evenepoel. That's not going to be an easy one, 240k. A pretty steep climb that we're going to hit over and over again all day long. Evenepoel could do well with it. And then the Netherlands, and I think that's the last one on the list. So just a couple more to go. Godry, that's going to be a tough one, especially when he's got a virus. So we've got one race left to do. But in terms of timing, we're going to have to do that next time. Not enough time left for this episode, so we're going to have to leave it there with just one more feature race to go. As a team, yeah, we don't have that top position anymore, but 12th, holy cow, World Tour rankings. And we are back to dominating the Continental, though it's not a huge margin. Remember, these guys continue to race all those races, and we've been out of a lot of them, or quick-simmed a lot of them. This is definitely the one that matters, though, and we've got a solid 3rd place. To kind of quick step behind us, not sure if it's going to be much longer. Sunweb also, but still, are you kidding me? 3rd place in the Super Prestige. I mean, even Dimension Data, who in real life are a World Tour team, and just missed the cut this last season. Still right there at 18th, but they have roughly half the points that we have. That's pretty good. That's looking pretty good, huh? Alright, well, with 23 victories on the season, you can definitely take that one and chalk it down as a really good year. But it's only the 1st of July. We still have a few months of racing to do. I'm Decathlon Gamer. That's going to do it for this episode. I will see you next time. Be sure to hit that like button, and bye for now.